In today's video, the XKR's redemption story comes full circle. 450 brake is the aim. Welcome back to Project Jaaaag. Tom, I've been away in India at the start of the year and you've been cracking on while I've been away. What are the updates on this car? What's been happening?
So obviously the last episode we were putting the suspension back in the car, so
yes,
we finalised the last few bits with that. We fitted the Tarrox brakes.
Okay.
So the car was rolling, back driving, etc. So that's all now completed. Then the car went to Brad at BLS for the paintwork. So all the screens were removed. If you remember.
To me it was just going to be a touch-up, but he has just gone the full Monty. There was a bit of sun damage here and on the roof and on the bonnet, but it basically got completely resprayed.
Yeah, there was a couple of lacquer pills, and at the end of the day he just popped the screens out and decided to do the whole car.
Fair play, I'm not going to complain.
Yeah, because there's no like joins on any of the panels, we were sort of working out that you need to blend into that panel to get the colour right, and in the end, exactly as you said, it was just full hog, right away back, primer, full respray.
Okay. So the car does still look a bit scraggy, but it's at that point where it would just take a few days just to nip and tuck everything, and suddenly it would be a finished project, really. But we are skipping ahead, so we're here at PV Engineering, because this place is in super high demand, isn't it? So we're going to get this on the dyno and get it working, hopefully.
Yeah, exactly. So we've got, obviously we did the manual swap, but we didn't do any electronic side. So we're going to integrate the standalone, the Max ECU with Steve today, and then we're going to tune it for all the modifications that have been carried out.
So it has been here just getting it sort of running as a car, because when you put a manual gearbox into something that never had it, that's more work than people might think. Yeah,
exactly that. There's a huge amount of integration with regards to electronics. The mechanical is actually fairly straightforward with regards to putting a manual box, pedal box, etc. But the electronics is the difference really, and most of the other conversions that have been done haven't gone the full hog with regards to completely removing the standard ECU and putting a standalone system in there that integrates with the whole car.
Okay, so we're ready for power runs today. I've put my lucky Jaaaag jacket on. Are we going to get, I mean, the number in my head has always been 450.
Yeah, that's the number. That's what we're hoping for. With everything we've done on this, I'm confident it'll be there or thereabouts.
So Steve, last time we were here, we smoked out your dyno. I see you've got the old chart up there, 288 horsepower. That was, not ideal at all. But as a complete layman, we've put a manual gearbox onto a car that never had a manual. How do you get those things and the rest of the car to chat?
So engine's well-trodden path with aftermarket management, quite straightforward. There's nothing particularly complicated about the engine, so getting the engine to work, no problem at all. Some of the things getting the car to work, some of the more complex stuff is making sure that the engine management is sending out the relevant CAN signals, making sure that it's receiving the signals from some of the other modules. The fuel pump system on this car is a PWM system, so it's allowing the ECU to do all of the things that the old Denso ECU was doing, but allow us to tune the car properly without the restrictions. Okay,
so you have put in a standalone, and that just gives you, I imagine, more freedom when it comes to stuff. I've heard you can use the factory one, but it's a bit dodgy.
Absolutely, yeah. The older ECU is just old technology. Think about the phone you had back then. That's the sort of technology we're sort of dealing with. So we use an ECU called Max ECU. It's one of the best on the market we've found, and it suits our application perfectly. There's lots of open bits and pieces in there we can do within the CAN structure and such like that you can't do with other ECUs.
Sure. And the car sounded great, just idling coming in here, but it hasn't been completely straightforward, has it? You did have a fairly big mechanical issue. What happened?
Yeah, we're finishing off the tune or midway through the tune, and all of a sudden, bit of a noise, no boost, and the supercharger decided she did not want to be where she was anymore.
See, I've always been told by that man over there that the superchargers on these V8s are bulletproof. So what the hell happened?
You tell me. I mean, I've never seen one before do that. So you've now got my supercharger, which was a late night swap. That's this race car supercharger now.
It could be that we pulled out of a hedge and then ragged it on your dyno.
Absolutely,
that may have done some damage.
Bless her heart, she's done all right.
Okay, but you think it's now very healthy and we're going to get some good numbers?
Good as gold, she is.
Okay, let's see it. While Tom and Steve work on preparing the car for the dyno, it's a great time to talk about today's sponsor. I want to give a shout out to the sponsors that have supported our projects recently. Without them and without you guys, we would not be able to muck about with silly cars like the XKR. And today's video sponsor is our VPN friends at Surfshark. Most of you guys will know what a VPN is by now, but if you don't, it stands for Virtual Private Network, and you install it on your devices to keep your data secure, make surfing the internet completely safe, and also place your devices anywhere in the world. I'm just back from a wedding in India, and to make sure all of my devices didn't freak out about suddenly being accessed on the other side of the world, I simply clicked on the UK server and everything was chill. You can also switch to somewhere like Canada to access Canadian Netflix, which has the most expansive library of any country on Netflix. The more you know. They've also recently launched Surfshark One, which has numerous different applications, like Surfshark Alert, which informs users when their personal data is leaked, Surfshark Search, which allows anonymous internet searching, and there's also an antivirus function in the bundle as well. Surfshark encrypts your online data to make sure there's nothing malicious going on in the background. If left unlocked, some people may be able to see your download history and even your location, but a VPN can keep those people the hell away from your stuff, even on the dodgiest of Wi-Fi sources. For example, who knows who's creeping around on the Swallow's Jaguar Wi-Fi? Yeesh. So, if you fancy giving it a go, use our link in the description below and our promo code DRIVETRIBE to get 83% off your Surfshark subscription and also 3 extra months free. Also, they're running a 30-day money-back guarantee, so you can download it, and if you don't like it for whatever reason, you can get your money straight back. Again, a massive thank you to Surfshark for sponsoring today's video. With the Jaag nice and warm, Stephen goes through the gears to see what the XKR is now packing after all our hard work. Steve, 427, that's much more like it. That's, what, 140 horsepower difference?
Yeah, absolutely.
And that's just through a bit of gasketry and a new pulley. That's pretty impressive in my mind.
Pretty much, yeah, absolutely.
Okay, and while you were dynoing this, getting it prepped for today, you found out something with the intake on this car. What did you figure out?
Absolutely. So whenever we've dealt with any of the supercharged stuff, we've always found that flow into the charger sort of overtakes cool air. Cool air is obviously ideal if you can get it both, but usually any restriction causes us a significant power loss. So I think if we remove that inlet pipe.
That's really interesting. So a lot of people try to shove a cold air intake like as far into the bumper as they can, but actually you're saying you're better to get rid of as many bends and corrugated bits as possible.
Absolutely. It's you know, all of these things data log. You need to know how hot that is there. You wouldn't want to go and chuck 100 degrees down its neck, but 10 degrees of temperature is far outweighed by flow.
Okay, so what you're going to say is we're going to whack off the intake, essentially straight pipe the engine,
yeah,
and well, could that be our 450 potentially? Only need another 30,
yeah,
surely.
Yeah, only need a few more. So yeah, I'm interested to try it.
Okay, I want to see that. With the intake now removed and the air heading directly into the supercharger, would our Jaag's V8 be able to power up to our goal of 450? dreamt of 450 horsepower and we've got it pretty much on the nose. After this car's epic journey, literally all the way around the globe, it's now powering as it should. As I said earlier in the video, we've done things in a slightly weird order due to having to book the dyno, but now the car's going to go back to Swallows and it's all going to be about nipping and tucking all the little bits, especially in the interior, to get this car finished. A big thank you to Surfshark for sponsoring today's video, and if you liked it, give it a thumbs up. I've been Mike, and don't forget to subscribe to DriveTribe, and I'll see you in the next episode of Project Jaaaag.